Okay. This morning we are going to see or to study a topic which is very useful in our lifetime, both those who are regenerate or unregenerate, because it will teach us or what we are or what is happening around us, and that is vanity of vanity. Many think that this life is full of treasures, but as we are going to see, you will see that as the preacher Solomon discovered, he found that it's all vanity. So our head verse is going to be on Ecclesiastes 1:2, which says, "Vanity of vanities," says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. You know, some words, when they come out from the Son of God or an elect of God, they are worthy considering, because they are not just words of a drunkard. They are word of a man of God, driven by the Spirit of God. So when he say all is vanities, we want to see how all is vanities. How all is vanity. Because if all is vanity, then what are we supposed to have in this world? What are we supposed to have in this world if all is vanity? So, I would like to study, first of all, another verse, that is 1 John 2:16. 1 John 2:16.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
You see now, those two verses, Solomon is saying all is vanities. But when you come to the New Testament, John is saying all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father. It is of the world. So, which means it is true. If all what we have, if all what is in the world is not of the Father and is of this world, then you can see why Solomon is saying all is vanity. It is because when you go a little bit deeper, you will find that this temporal world God created, He created it, and it is not to last forever. It's just a temporal world. And that's why all dies, even plants, everything. There's a repetition of vegetation. These, they blossom, then after some times, they die. They become nothing. The same thing happened to human being. We have generations. There was a time we were called children. Ni kweli? The leaders of tomorrow. In every generation, there is the leaders of tomorrow. There is always children. Then after some time, a generation goes and another coming. Why? That means just the same way as the plant vegetations are, even we human beings are just the same. Our body which we are given by God is just the same as the body of those plants or animals. There's no different. It comes and goes. But then, and that's why many have never realized that when God created man, he created him with the soil of this earth. You know, people just look at this soil and they think that God took this soil that we can see with our own eyes. It's a deeper science. And God willing, one day we shall study that soil and see how God created man from the soil. And then, after creating man from the soil, he breathed unto that man. Meaning, man is of two entities. That is, this world is soil and the breath of God. Kwa hivyo, man came from somewhere. He came from God. He came from God, and that's why he has given a body of this world just like these animals we can see around us. So when man fell, he opted to come on the side of the flesh, meaning he fell on these things of this world, which are temporal. That's why Solomon called them vanity, because they are not real. They are for a time. For a time. They are for a time. And that's why you hear now John here is saying, all what we see in this world does not come from our Father, from the Father. It comes from the what? From the world. So which means if it does not come from our Father, it is not eternal. It's not eternal. It is of this world. And you will find that many have missed the mark. They have never understood the concept or the purpose of God in creating this world. They have fallen from God and they have inclined all their mind and their attention unto this world, not knowing that this world soon is going to disappear, because it is nothing. It's just a shadow of what is in heaven. So, the lust of the flesh are the pleasures of the world. That's the lust of the flesh, are the pleasures of the world. And each and every person is after the flesh. Each and every person, starting from the highest and even the lowest, even those who are in the churches, they are serving the flesh, not knowing. Even some, when they say they are blessed, the blessings is a blessing of the flesh, not of the soul. They don't even understand. That's why many will tell the congregations that they are going to be blessed with this worldly good, not knowing that they are vanities. They are nothing. They are not the things that you can promise a Christian, a born-again Christian, because they are vanity. So, the lust of the eye are riches. The lust of the eye are riches. So called because their greater serviceableness is only to make a glittering and dazzling show. So, the lust of the eye. Why do people want to get riches? Kwa nini watu wataka kuwa rich? Kwa nini people They have everything to eat, to drink, even to serve them throughout their life, even if they don't work even a day. They have billions. We have billionaires. But you'll find that they need more and more. So why? It is because of the lust of the eyes. The lust of the eyes. Why? Anataka kufanya nini? Kuona. Just to see. Nothing else. He has a building here, but he has seen that building. He wants to see another one. So that one has become a common to him. So it's not exciting him. He wants to build another one, another new, thinking that he is going to satisfy his eyes. But he cannot. Why? Because whatever is in this world, it is nothing. It cannot satisfy the soul of a man. It cannot. No matter what, it cannot. That's why somebody will build that and that, many and many things, but he'll never be satisfied because of the lust of the eyes. These eyes were only created for this world. And that's why we can never know God. That's why we can never see God. Because we have eyes which are in line with this world. And that's why people always will be after the worldly things. They'll only be after the worldly things. Because those are the only things which can make them happy, which can interest their eyes. But when you tell them about the spiritual, that one, they don't know. And in fact, they don't want to know. We have another pride, as John has said, that is the last of the eye, that is the pride of life. So the pride of life is honor. But before we go that way, let us first read Ecclesiastes 5:11 to expound on the lust of the eyes. Ecclesiastes 5:11.
When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes?
Yes, that is the last of the eyes. What good is there to the owner thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes? They increase. And when they increase, what do? You just add employers. Yeah. Because if you had one lorry, you buy another one. What you are going to see is just to add another employer in that lorry. So that's the only thing that you can do. What about you? What good has it in you than just to behold it with your own eyes? Sijui kama mnapata vile somo nataka kusema. Because nataka kusema, apart from what you are going to eat with your stomach, nothing else. So even if you add another decent or whatever you add, apart from people whom you are going to employ or to add in that employment, which is good, but for you, there is nothing else that you are going to add unto yourself except what? Beholding them with your eyes. Nothing. So, when we come to the pride, the pride of life is honor and dignity. That flatulent and airy notion that puffs up men's pride and vain glory and makes them look upon their inferior as though they were not their fellow creatures. So, what is pride? Because we have seen that the only thing that happened in this world, in the spirit of the world, one, we have seen is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Pride of life. So what is pride? What is pride? So pride is nothing else than the life of honor and dignity. You desire to be honored. You desire to be honored, or people to look at you as a man of dignity. As a man of dignity. And that's why you see many in this world, they'll try very much to be rich. They'll work all their whole lifetime. That's why this person, after getting riches, after enjoying the lust of the eyes, he has this building, he has that business, he has this and that. The next thing that he is after is he wants to be honored. By who? By you. Why are you going to honor me? I have more money and I can buy you. So what are you going to do? You must honor me. I have more money, I can give you. So he wants to be honored because he has more money than you have. That's what we call the pride of life. That's why, because he has acquired a lot of wealth, he wants to be a leader, to lead you. So that you may honor him. Yeah, he's a man of dignity. And that's what we say. That's the pride of life. So these are the things that here Solomon saw and understood very well. These are the things Solomon saw and understood very well. That vanity of vanity. What is it? It is nothing. If you read Ecclesiastes, in addition to verse 2, vanity of vanities, say the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Tatu wanasema, what do profit has a man of all his labor, which he taketh under the sun? Nasikia vile anauliza, what profit? Because if all is vanity and chasing after the wind, so what profit do we have in laboring this world? What profit do we have? Anasema ukisoma verse 4, anasema one generation passes away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. Sisi tunazaliwa, one generation come, you flourish in this world, you have a lot of money, you become a billionaire, but then after some time you will go, you will fly away, whether you like it or not. And another generation will come. Nakumbuka when I was a young child, we were called children of tomorrow. But now, we are old men who are going away. We are passing. We have another generation, ambaye tunasema, this is the generation of tomorrow. And definitely, we will go and another one will come in, whether we like it or not. Anasema, the sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. The same thing, the same. In the morning, the sun came out. In the evening, awaiting another day. So that is all what happened in this one. So Solomon learned a lot of things. So why did he fight all his vanity? If you go to chapter 2, Ecclesiastes chapter 2, from verse 1, he says, listen, I said in mine heart, go to now, I'll prove thee with mirth, therefore enjoy pleasure. And behold, this also is vanity. You see now, I said in mine heart, go to now, I'll prove thee with mirth. Akaliambia moyo wake, kaa ufurahie hapa duniani, upate everything. Manake he was rich. Solomon had everything you can think of. But even after doing that, he saw also that is vanity. Kwa nini? Ukienda, if you go to a party and you eat very plentifully, then you are satisfied. And in the morning, you wake up very hungry. What do? You remember what you were eating yesterday. And by the way, when you eat too much, the next day you become hungry than before. So what do? You remember that we had a lot. So even if you think that way, you find that even that eating is vanity also. Because it cannot last for 2 days. It is not nothing. So whether you eat whatever you eat today or you don't, Solomon found that it's over vanity. And that's why wengi wanasema wakati mtu anakula sukuma wiki, wengine wanasema unajua hiyo nyumba wanakulanga nyama peke yake. Lakini kwa sababu wewe haukuli, unasema sukuma wiki sasa sio kama nini. Lakini at the end of the day, is there any different? Hakuna. Solomon found it that way. There is no different. I said of laughter, verse 2, it is mad. And of mirth, what doeth it? Even laughter. Angalia watu wakati wamefurahi sana wamecheka. Unacheka mpaka hata unasema tulicheka. Lakini unaweza kucheka, lakini wakati wamaliza kucheka, a bad report inakuja. Unaweza kufanya nini? Kulia. So what is laughter? It's madness. Because you are even laughing because you don't even know what is going to come the next minute after all your happiness in this world. So he found all these things. I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting mine heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. You know, Solomon was practicing things. Akasema, now I want to drink the best wine in this world. Nisikie vile watu wanasikia wakinywa pombe. Na hata nisikie raha ambayo wanasikia. He practiced all this. Lakini akaona all is vanity. Hakuna. Hata hiyo yote akaona hakuna raha. Akaona it's nothing. I made, ukesa 5 anasema, I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. Garden, a very good garden. Ambayo unakuta watu, ukienda the rich people, in their backyard, they have a garden there of fruits. A compound, they have the best flowers. Solomon did that. akifikiria he is going to be happy in this world. Lakini was he happy? No. Akaona still that also is vanity. I gathered me also silvers and gold and the peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces. I got me men singers and women singers and the delight of the sons of men as a musical instrument and that of all sorts. Nasikia, he gathered, akawa na women singers ambayo watakuwa na muibia kwake. Even boy singers. Lakini akifikiria atapata comfort. Then, ukienda 11, then I looked on all the works that my heart had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do. And behold, all was vanity. Akaongezea sasa, akasema, and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. All akaona is vanity and vexation of spirit. Ni kusema ni masumbuko. Even the time unafikiria mtu ako na raha, as we are going to see, utakuja kuona bado ni nini? Is vexation of spirit. Halali. Hata wakati anaona amepata, that is the time wako na shida mingi sana. Because Solomon was trying all these things because he thought he had money and he was rich. So he was practicing this thing to see whether there is happiness in this world, whether you can get happiness in this world. But yakaona no, it's all vanity and vexation of spirit. Ni kusema, even at your best, sometimes you are at your worst. You see now, even there's a time alikuja akafika pahali akasema, even this money, even what I have done, mimi nimetumia my knowledge to gather money, but who is going to come and take up my money? Maybe a fool will come and inherit whatever I have. But I have used a lot of wisdom to gather what I have, but who knows who is going to come behind me? But yakaona kabisa, even he can have a child, lakini awe a fool, na yeye ametumia wakati mwingi sana kutafuta mali, but this child of his atakuja akalia mali aibomoe na siku moja. Akaona bado, even to work for your generation behind is also vanity. Who knows? Who has a guarantee that what he has when he dies, his children are going to take care of them? No. Hata kuna pali nasema, sometimes you could not even give somebody something because of your children. But the moment you sleep, those people that you could not give anything will enjoy what you have more than even your children. But when you are alive, you could not even work for God because of your children. I'm not saying that people should not look after their children. Don't mistake me. But I'm saying, together with everything, we must know everything in this world is valid of vanity. Kwa sababu gani? Hata kana kabisa you are after your children, you want them to serve your children. Suppose you have everything, then when you leave everything to them, they squander that money, or even they die. Many die because of the inheritance. Haven't you seen that? Many are killed by the inheritance. The moment you die, he thinks that he's going to get your car and get the best in his life. He brought himself in dishes because he's drunk, he has no control, he wants to enjoy life, but it is to enjoy life without the discipline. So what is going to happen? We have seen it. So, That's what Solomon is saying. It is vanity of vanity. Na ndio unaona akienda 17 asema, therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. For all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Yeah, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun. He hated all the labor that he had, because he came to realize, Solomon, when he was young, he was the son of who? David. So he was brought up in the king's house. So since the childhood, he had everything that he could think of. And when his father died, Solomon thought, now it is the time to enjoy life. He had made how many concubines? Huh? 700. 700 women. So even we see, in the same Solomon, being a king in the house of God, he even married from heathens. He married from heathens. And even he built temples to heathens. Why? He forgot even God. So during his lifetime, he came to realize that he has everything is nothing when he was old, when he was about to go out of this world. That's when he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes, the book of Proverbs. But when he was young, he did everything thinking that he can have happiness in this world. But God wanted Solomon to go in that direction so that he may write what we are doing what? We are reading. And that's why many people will say that, in the Old Testament, people married many wives. Why are we not supposed to marry many wives in the New Testament? In fact, there were a lot of lessons people are supposed to learn from the Old Testament, not even wives. There was a reason why God allowed them to marry. Ukiulizwa, how many wives Christ has? Does Christ has a concubine? Yes. Solomon, David are a type of who? Christ. You see now? They are a type of Christ. So what were we taught, or what are we being told about Solomon having many wives? Christ, all these churches, zote zinasema Yesu ni nani? Are they truly a virgin? No. They are concubines. Wengine hata huyu Yesu wanasema ni Bwana, they don't even know him. But wanakulia jia nani? So that means that is a concubine. If you go to Isaiah anasema namna gani? Wanawake sasa watafanya nini? Wataolewa na mwanamume mmoja? Na watu watakuwa wakisema nini? Wanataka nini? Wanataka jina, chakula ni yetu, mali ni yetu, lakini jina iwe ni wewe. That's what is happening. All these churches, they want one to be called with the name that they are under Christ. Christ is their Lord or their husband. But what they are doing, ile njia wanatafuta naye, wewe, we don't want anything else. Just a name. A name. Just a name. That's enough. Lakini kutafuta, wacha tujibondoe na uongo yetu. Wacha tuambie watu mtabarikiwa wakuja. Even if you are not going to teach about him. All these things, ukiangalia, they are taught so that we may know. Nataka kusema that we should not think like other people who thinks that because Solomon or the Old Testament patriarchs married many women, then we think the New Testament is allowed. It is not allowed. There was a reason why God allowed it at that time. So Solomon, that's why you hear, anasema, I hated life. Why did he hate life? Hata kuna pale anakuja anasema, out of 1,000 people, hakupata nani? Hakupata mwanamke hata moja nini? Mzuri. Si kuna pale amesema hivyo. Out of 1,000? Kwa nini nasema hivyo? Na alikuwa na 700 concubine. Kwa sababu alikuja ndio hapo akasema it was all vexation of spirit. Ilikuwa ni msumbuko. Unafikiri ule mtu ako na mabibu wengi ni raha? Ni akikudanganya ukiona na macho yako unafikiri kuna raha? Hakuna. Solomon aliona. And that's why he wrote that. So, therefore, I went about to cause my heart to despair of all the labor which it took under the sun. 21 anasema, for there is a man whose labor is in wisdom and in knowledge and in equity. Yet, to a man that has not labored therein, shall he leave it for his portion. Sinaona hapo vile alisema. Kuna mtu anatumia knowledge yake, lakini hiyo mali yake yote atawachia mtu kabisa ambaye hana uwezo, hana ufahamu hata kidogo. Mpaka akasema all this is vanity. So that's why we are studying vanity of vanity. And as we have seen that the pride of life, the lust of riches, and the lust of the eyes, all these things are vanity. Because those things, they have driven even Solomon out of himself. Pride. That's why, even kuna padi ukisoma anasema, I called even party in my house. Watu wakuja wafanye nini? Wakule. Si ati wakuja ati wachage pesa. Hapana. Solomon anasema nataka ng'ombe 20 ifanye nini? Ianguke. Watu wakuje wakule, wajue wanakula kwa nani? Kwa Solomon. Lakini bado hata yote akifanya akasema is vanity of, kwa sababu yote anafanya kwa sababu ya nini? Pride. Sio kupenda Mungu. Kitapokuja alia nikaona hapana, I thought I was generous. Lakini akuja akaona hata kuambia watu wakuje wakule pate, in my heart I'm driven by pride. Sio kupenda Mungu. So how many are that way? So these things, though they make fair and gaudy, sure yet it is all but show and appearance. Haya mambo yote hata kana kwamba yanaonekana ni mazuri namna gani ya hii dunia, bado ni mambo ambaye ni ya kujionesha. This world, this earth on which we live is nothing else but a great bumble blown up by the breath of God in the midst of the air where it now hangs. Ukienda wamama wanajua hiyo sana. Ukiweka oma kwa karai ukifanya hivi, there are bumbles wanga ambaye zinafanya nini? Zinatokea mzuri sana. Ziko kala gapi? Inakuwa kala mingi sana. But that bubble ukitoa hivi ufanye inafanya nini? That's the way the world is. That's the way the world is. Like those bubbles. Vile watu wanaona ni sawa kabisa, everything, but it is vanity. Hakuna. Very soon everything will be gone and you'll be gone also, like that bubble. So it is sparkles with 10,000 glories. Not that they are so in themselves, but only they seem so to us through the false light by which we look upon them. All what we see, uanga tunadanganywa na kitu tunaita false light. Meaning when you say false light, kumaanisha you don't have the right light to see all what is happening in this world. Now, because you have a false one, that's why to you, they glitter. And that's why, to many, they are the snares of Satan. Satan used them as snares. Ni mitego ya nani? Ya Shetani. Why? Because man, by his own reasoning and understanding, he cannot understand that everything that is around us is vanity, is nothing. Because it is going to go. And your soul is going to remain forever. But the body that you are given here, which survives on vegetations, is going to be nothing very soon. But tunakuja kuona people are wasting a lot of time. Binadamu anachukua muda yote juu ya mwili. Kufikiria juu ya mwili. But when it comes to the soul, very few, kabisa, seriously, nawaambia hivyo, things about their soul. Nobody care. Wadogo sana. Wadogo sana ambaye uanga wana care about their soul. So, there is nothing in the world vain in respect of its natural being. In order to understand these things, not that God created vain things. God has a good purpose of everything that we see. The only problem is who? Is us. Sisi ndio wanga hatuelewi the purpose of God in everything that he has created. There is nothing vain in itself because it has taken the mind of God to do what? To create it. So God has a purpose, but we don't know what that purpose is. That's why when we say there's nothing vain, it means that there is always a purpose of everything, but we misuse it because of our ignorance and the darkness in ourselves. Because after we fell, man went far from God, from the mind of God, and instead he reasoned by himself, thinking that he can know what is surrounding, what that surrounding him is, or the purpose of it. For example, wacha tukuje chakula peke yake. Ni wangapi wanajua chakula in this world? Chakula ni nini? What is food? What is the purpose of food? Manake Biblia inasema when God created man, he also created vegetations to be the medicine. Iwe ndio nini? Dawa ya nini? So why do we become sick? If God created a body and eats medicine, so why do we get sick? It is because we don't even understand the right food for this body that God has given us. Why? Because we are in darkness. We are in darkness. People ni kujaribu kutukata majani hii. Wale wengine wanasema sisi tunakulanga hii. If you go to another side, unakuta wengine wanasema sisi hatukulangi. Kwa nini? Hai, mimi hata nimeiona hata sijui hii ni nini. Hamjai kusikia hivyo? Si hivyo ninakuanga. That's why if you go to some other country unakuta they are eating something ambayo wewe ukiangalia na macho yako hutaweza fanya nini? Hata unatapika. What does that show? Chakula hii mwili ni gani? Ni ile unakula, ni ile wewe unakula. China wanakula nini? Paka mbwa. And it happened. In fact, nilienda some other part of huko southern Dar es Salaam na huko when we are going to Malawi. People there eat even rats. Rats. na wanakula. Can you eat it? So nataka kusema nini? Nataka kusema man by the fall, even he does not even understand himself, even to what to eat. Chakula peke yake haelewi, because he's in darkness. And that's why there is no way God can say, I've created you, I've given you a body, and even the medicine for that body. So why do we get sick? It is because we don't eat what's that good for what? For this body. We don't eat. Our body has always a deficiency of so many kind that because we cannot even know to counter that deficiency, we'll ever be sick. If you read Genesis 1:31, nasema mna gani? Genesis 1:31. Hebu soma.
Mungu akaona kila kitu alichokifanya, na tazama ni chema sana. Ikawa jioni, ikawa asubuhi.
Yes. God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. So God cannot say that it was very good and yet it was not good. It was very good. So everything that God has created by itself is good. It is our misuse. So if we regard the wonderful artifice and wisdom that shines forth in the frame of nature, we cannot have so unworthy a thought, either of the world itself, of God who made it. So God made it perfect. God made it perfect. So there is nothing vain in respect of God, the Creator. So when we say vanity of vanity, there is nothing vain in God. God created everything in its right form. If you read Romans 1:20, Romans 1:20, haraka
1:20 inasema, kwa sababu mambo yake yasiyoonekana tangu kuumbwa ulimwengu yanaonekana na kufahamika kwa kazi zake, yaani uwezo wake wa milele na uungu wake, hata wasiwe na udhuru.
That means the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead. All what we see, it reveals the eternal power and the Godhead, that there is a God. So God is not vain. So when we say vanity, it is not in God, it is in man after the fall. After the fall. That's why all these things have become vanity, because you cannot use them in the right way. We have fallen. We have gone astray. And when we go astray, we don't see things in their true perspective. We have our own understanding and seeing things. That is it. So, all the vanity that is in the worldly things is only in respect of the sin and folly of man. For those things are said to be vain, which neither do nor can perform what we expect from them. You see now? So why do we say something is vain? Something is vain when or which neither do nor can perform what we expect from them. That's the reason why we say something is vain. That means, why is this world vain? As we are going to see, man is looking for happiness. True? But can he get happiness in this world? No. That's why, though God created the world with a certain purpose, but man has not sought the purpose of God in order to understand this world. So man has thought that he can get happiness from this world. But man never came from this world. Man came from who? From God. From God. That's why there is nothing in this world which can make man happy. So our great expectation is happiness. And our great folly is that we think to obtain it by the enjoyment of this world. We feel that by enjoying this world, we can get happiness. That's why we are mistaken. That's why the world is vain. The world is vanity, because it cannot give us what? That happiness that we think we can do what? We can get from it. Sijui kama tunaona pale. This makes men pursue pleasures, hold up riches. That's why watu unafikiria, yani watu wakifikiria they can get happiness in this world. That's why they have formed pleasures. Yani raha. That's why kuna yani drinking spree, discos. Sizo vitu zote mnasijua. Nini watu wanga naenda kutafuta kwa discos, music, riches. Nini watu wanga natafuta? Happiness. Lakini hebu angalia mtu mmoja ambaye ameenda kutafuta happiness usiku mzima. Ukoje asubuhi akiingia kwa kitanda muulize, wewe kwa nini hujaamka? Hata siku hii nyingine kufanya kazi ni nini? Ni shida. Why? Usiku alikuwa tafuta nini? Happiness. Alipata? Lakini kwa fikra yake wakati alikuwa anaenda kutafuta hii happiness, kama mngemwambia asiende, mngekosana. So that's why we are saying our great expectation is happiness in this world. And our great folly is that we think to obtain it by enjoyment of this world. One, this makes men pursue pleasures, raha. Wanafikiri katika raha watapata happiness in this world. Na wengine katika raha they end up in the grave. Wengine wanga wanaenda in the grave katika nini? Katika raha. Kwa nini watu waende wakunywe usiku mzima? Alafu usiku ukija unakuta wote ukiangalia pale kwa dishi wamelala pale wote wameenda in their vehicle. Ukiuliza unaambiwa hawa watu walikuwa somewhere wakijivinjari huko. Wakiburudika. So they were looking for happiness, but in the wrong method. They don't know what happiness is. Lakini wanatafuta happiness. Sasa hapo tunasema yani many hold up riches. Watu wanatafuta mali, they hold up riches. And that's why men will never be satisfied with riches. They hold up. Akipata hii anaweka ingine. That's why you go to a compound, unakuta mtu wako na gari ngapi? 5. Kuna watu wanga wanaenda na number plate. Ile inatokea mpya. Every time you want to have a new vehicle. Kwa nini? Anatafuta nini? Happiness. He thinks by getting every new car, wakati inatoka pale, he's going to get happiness. That is holding up riches. They call it honors. Mtu amekuwa MCA. Anasema naona Mungu akinibariki next time nitakalia gani? MP. Akikalia MP anaona anataka kuwa governor. Nini anatafuta? Happiness ama honor. You see, this man hata rara. Na hiyo ndio unasikia tunaambia it is a vexation of spirit. Why? Anasumbuliwa na kitu ambaye kabisa hata kana kwamba anaweza rudi awe MCA tena. Is enough. Maana anakula anafanya nini? Anakula. Lakini bado hiyo kitu akiweka kwa mfikra yake hatafanya nini? Hata rara. No wonder wengine wanatumia hata ile walikuwa wamepata wakitaka ingine mpaka wanafilisika. So all these things ndio tunaambiwa, men in all this way they are looking for happiness. So why? They quote honor and preferment because they look with an overweening consent of these things as such as can make them truly happy. Mtu wakati anaangalia kiti ambayo iko mbele yake anaona as if he is not going to get that, he is not going to be happy. Lakini kama ataipata atasema Mungu amenipatia my dreams. Sio wanga wengi hata wana confess. Wanasema kabisa sasa ndio yani nikipata hii. Sasa ile alikuwa naye amefanya nini? Aoni. It has become common. So whereas to seek happiness among these worldly things is but to seek the living among the dead. When you are seeking happiness in pressure, when you are seeking happiness in riches, when you are seeking happiness in honor, it is to seek living among the dead. Because they cannot give you life. Sijui kama tunaelewana pale. It is like seeking the living among the dead. Because all these things that you are looking happiness from, they cannot give you happiness. They cannot give you happiness. You are seeking happiness from the dead. Because they are dead things. Riches cannot give you happiness. Even if it's going to give you happiness, it is the happiness of this world, which is temporal. How many at their cream of life, unasikia hata hakuamka. Asubuhi watu walienda kupiga hivi. Wakakuta nini? Amen. Hata hakusema kwa heri. How many at their top watu wanatafuta mali? Unakuta ameenda the wrong side. Unakuta hata wengine wamelala njera. Miaka yote ameenda pale, lakini was looking for happiness. So these things, in short, they cannot give you happiness. They are all of them leaky and broken cisterns, and cannot hold this living water, which is the water of life, which is our Lord Jesus Christ. So man has never understood truly what happiness is. But when we shall know, or those who are blessed to know, all what you can see, you just take them lightly. Never take them seriously. Look them. Useme hata kana kwamba anaenda na nini. Wewe, in Christ Jesus, you are more than what all this world has. Unajua hivyo? Having Christ in you, you have more than all what this world has. Because you have eternal life in you. And that means you have God in you. And having God in you, you have what? You have everything. You have everything. God is the creator of these things, and you have God in you, meaning you have everything. That's why God created man to be above all these things that we can see, because we were created with an image of God. But man does not understand. Man has degraded himself in such a level that he'll never even, many are going to grave without even understanding what they were doing in this world. They go because they don't know that truly in this world there is nothing. Why are these things charged with vanity? This is it which makes them charged with vanity. Because in our perverted fancy, we look upon them as stable, permanent, and satisfactory. When we say with a perverted fancy, ni kumaanisha katika macho yetu ya kimwili tukifikiria tunaona they are satisfactory, but they are not. Tunaona kana kwamba hii mambo yako sawa, but they are not. And expect much more from them than they can yield. And so indeed, the vanity is not so much theirs as ours. The vanity is not in these things. No. These are inanimate creatures. They have no sense. This house has no sense. Ni kweli? So the vanity is not in this house. The vanity is where? In you. Hii ni mawe. Hiyo gari ni mabati. But wewe, you can even, yani spoil. You cannot even sleep because ya mawe kama hii. You spoil all your spiritual life because of inanimate things which has no sense. It doesn't even understand itself, but you have put all your energy upon it, and even you lose life because of it. The vanity is not in this matter. The vanity is not in buildings. The vanity is not in vehicles, in aeroplanes. Those are inanimate things. That's why, in themselves, they are good if you know them, to use them. But if you put all your heart there, you become vanity. You, not those things. So, to enjoy is to cleave to an object by love for its own sake. And this belongs only to God. I repeat. To enjoy is to cleave to an object by love for its own sake. So true joy ni wakati una cleave to an object by love for its own sake. But this joy can never truly be in any inanimate things of this world. But it's only in who? In God. Lakini man has been misdirected by Satan. The devil has come. He has blinded man, that man cannot see that all these worldly things, they are inanimate things. They have no life, they have nothing. They have no joy in themselves. The true joy can only come from God. But man thinks that he can get joy in these worldly things. That's why Solomon said, it is vanity of vanity. They have nothing. And that's why umesikia akisema, I labored. But my labor, I came to find that I labored for nothing. Amefanya kazi miaka yote lakini hakuja kaona ni ya nini? Ni ya bure. Kwa sababu gani? How many today wanatumia all their energy wakiitwa watu wa kuheshimiwa in this world? They don't even sleep wakitafuta mali. They are businessmen. But after this life, they'll come out with nothing. So why did they labor for all that time? For nothing. Because they never did anything to help the salvation of their soul. All they did, it is to serve this body. And this body, as we have seen, is temporal. And after the grave, it is nothing. It becomes nothing. Even if you are going to survive, those who will survive in the eternal kingdom, they shall be given new bodies. Those bodies which don't even eat what we are eating today. And if this world will be changed, kwa sababu tunaambiwa itafanya nini? Itakuwa. If this world will be changed, even if whatever you have, itakuwa ya nini? In this world. Nikusema, yani hapo ndio somo nasema, he labored for nothing. Na ndio kasema hata kana kwamba nilikuwa nafikiria nitawachia watoto wangu, lakini kaona bado hata kuachia watoto wangu ni vanity. Kwa sababu gani? I don't know what will happen when I'm gone there. Sijui watakuwa namna gani. Tena the word of God inasema namna gani? Inasema you are given a child, ama watoto ambao tunapatiwa, every child you have sio wako. Ni kweli? Na ndio unaona wewe unamlea, lakini he is a different entity, a different person from who? From you. The only attachment you have because sababu wewe ndio umemzaa, you have been his guardian. Lakini yeye, he is an independent person, somebody peculiar to God than even you yourself. Najua hivyo? Many will go to hell, but their children will go where? Heaven. But when wewe ulikuwa nakimbia hapo, ulikuwa unasema that you are working for who? Lakini your children have their destiny. Watakuja wafike pahali, even what you did know, they will do what? They will know than you. Wajua hata kuliko nani? Kuliko wewe. So that's why tunaambiwa it is good by natural inheritance we should care for our children. That's good. Hakuna pale Mungu anakataa. Lakini tusifikirie that's all. Mungu ako na mpango wa hali ya juu sana. And that's why even God sometimes he makes people to wonder. Wakati unakuta an orphan ambaye hakuwa na mama na baba, anakuwa nini? Millionaire in this world. Iko. Hakuwa na mama au nani? Au baba. Lakini anakuja kuwa mtu wa maana sana, hata anapata mali nyingi sana hapa duniani. Ufundishwe that everything comes from who? From God, not you. Wengine wanasquander hata ile mali wamepatiwa, wamewachiwa na baba yao, unakuta ndio wapate yao, kila kitu inafanya nini? Inaisha, wanaanza kutafuta yao. Si ya nani? Si ya mzee, si ya baba zao. So all these things are by the way. So what we use, we refer to the obtaining of that, of what we desire to enjoy. I repeat. To enjoy is to cleave to an object by love, for its own sake. And these belong only to God. So what we use, we refer to the obtaining of what we desire to enjoy. And these belong to the creatures. I repeat, what we use, we refer to the obtaining of what we desire to enjoy. So, the creature, sometimes, let me give you expound it for you. We enjoy the creature, or we take the creature in order to give us power to enjoy that what we desire. So not this creature. You know what I want? The creature we just enjoy, we just take it to help us enjoy that which we desire. And that which is that we desire? God? Not the creature. Lakini kwa sababu ya kuanguka, because of folly or ignorance of man enjoy the creature and he forget who? God. You enjoy the creature, you forget who? But we are supposed to use the creature to give us power to enjoy that which we desire. Ambaye ni nani? Ni Mungu. Kwa hivyo creature ambaye ni hii mali ya dunia ama mambo ya dunia is just a bridge to help us. You see now? Not to stop at the bridge. Yeah. But the creature is to help us to enjoy or to attain to that true joy. Lakini man, because of folly, remains where? At the creature. He doesn't move from the creature. He remains there, thinking that he can have joy in that creature. Sawa? So, we may serve ourselves of them, but we must alone enjoy God. I repeat, we may serve ourselves of them, but we must alone enjoy God. Let us serve ourselves with these creatures. Wacha tusipate kwa sababu Mungu ametupatia. Unatakiwa kukula chakula. You want to partake what God has given you in order to survive. But you survive, you eat in order to enjoy who? God. Not the creature. Kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha whether you have wealth, hata kana kwamba unakula vizuri, kwa sababu kuna vile watu wanasema hapa duniani unakula vizuri, hata kana kwamba unakula vibaya, your aim ni nini? Sio hiyo unakula. Wachana naye. Wachana hiyo unakula sana, ukifikiria tujue hiyo unakula tu. Mimi nilikula sukuma wiki bila manini, bila mafuta. Hapana. Sio hiyo. Your aim should be to enjoy who? God. Ikusaidie to attain that. Because he ambaye unakula is just temporal, na ni ya kusaidia nini? Huu mwili. Ndio ufanye kazi. Lakini usisimame pale. Usianze kukazi God. Mbona Mungu mimi huku nibariki kama watu wengine? Kwao wanakulanga kuku peke yake kila siku. Mimi hapa hata kanyama sipatangi. Sasa hiyo ni kusema wewe unataka nini? Creature ndio uko haja naye. Lakini haujiulizi kwa nini Mungu umefanya nini? Umeninyima. Haujiulizi kwa nini Mungu amekukataza. You know, sometimes wakati nilianza kustudy kwanza kuelewa the temperance, nikakuja kujua hata wale watu wako huko ushago wanakula sukuma wiki wako mbele sana, my friend. Unajua hivi? They are far much better than wale hapa sauti ni nyama. Huyu mtu ambaye anakula sukuma wiki bila mafuta, yeye hapo mbele sana. Hata wewe ukifikiria tu wewe umebarikiwa, wewe unakula mafuta mingi hapa Nairobi, hakuna. Wewe ndio hata uko mbaya sana. Kwa sababu nini naongeza? Haya.